found out wasn't allowed the angels going up and down trees like that. Read your Bible.
Read your word.
Easy levels. Oh, thank you. And it's just we're doing is a test. Test 1 2. My head keeps. It's a test. Test 1 2. Oh, test 1 2. Mic check. And we're mic check 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Relax, Relate, Debrief. Debrief. You can relax. I'm your older sister, Nikki, and this is...
I'm the younger sister, Jackie.
Okay, and we are real life sisters. And this
/ psalmist.
This is our YouTube channel. So we're real life sisters. This is our YouTube channel where we get together, we kiki, we cackle. You know, we share our opinions, a little fun shade every now and then to each other, to the people.
All in fun.
All can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. I said all in fun, and you said and all can get it.
Okay. I'm just being honest with the people. Listen, if it's your first time tuning in, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to our channel. Say welcome to our channel. Say welcome
to our channel. Welcome to our channel. Say
okay,
welcome to our channel.
Here's the thing with me. If I do it a few times and I stop, I'm here with it. We're done. It's the excessiveness for me. Okay. But back to you good people. Thank you. Welcome to our channel. Like I said, we're real life sisters. Just sit here chatting. And I hope you enjoy yourself. We had some fun topics today to talk about. Just laughing and experience life together. But if it's your first time, what I want you to do is go ahead and click that subscribe button. Subscribe. Listen, we need you to subscribe. Whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, whether you listen to us on Spotify. We are on all of those areas. We just need y'all to subscribe. Like my sister says, the people need to hear us. They need to know who we are. It's good that you stop by. It's good that you know us. But there's other people. Share the news. We are here to have fun. Click that subscribe button. Once you hit that subscribe button, go ahead and click that notification bell. So every time we upload a video, which we try to do weekly, you'll get that notification. With that being said, we're going to get into it. Thank you. Oh, no, hold. Thank y'all too who are returning. I see y'all. Thank y'all.
I see you. We see each other.
My eye. Whew. But I still see.
I was going to say, so are you quite seeing them?
I am singing, I am hearing, and I am receiving. Come on. Somebody say with me. I am seeing.
No, we're not. No,
I am hearing, and I'm receiving. Because somebody out there might be saying that. You are stuck in your black, but say, I am seeing, I am hearing, and I am receiving. Amen. Listen, we are going to move into our segment, Minute to Get In It. Say, Minute to Get In It.
Wait, before we move into it, I just want to say, you saw this little heart necklace I bought? It's not doing it. When we went to Miami, Nikki bought this heart necklace that has like the pave diamonds in them. It's so cute. And I can't find nothing like it. If y'all have suggestions of, it's basically a heart like this, okay? Maybe a little bit smaller and a little more of a defined heart shape with pave diamonds in it. So I just want to put it out there to the people. Do y'all know where I can get that? Because it was a pop-up shop at the mall, and that's where she got it from. And
you can get it from Miami.
Don't think I won't catch a flight.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Apple bottom making one a bite. Okay.
So anyway, we're getting into our segment, Minute to Get In It. Listen, this is where we go ahead and take a minute just to get into something fun, something shady, you know, just something we want to bring up as a topic. But we only get 1 minute to get in it. Jackie?
I'm first?
First with you. I have my timer set.
Okay.
Because I believe you have a minute. Not 15.
Oh, wait. You got a minute to get in it.
I already did that. Thank you. I said minute to get in it.
That was okay. That's not the theme song. So what you did was what you wanted to do.
There it is. Come on.
You got a minute to get in it. I think I should record this. You got a minute.
We do every week.
Get in it. No, like for you to play it before it comes on, because it's like I'm basically singing the whole theme song. Minute to get in it. Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
See, you ready? Because your minute's
I'm
starting
ready.
now. God bless you.
Okay, this is a little bit of a piggyback off of my first minute to get in it, because there's been an enhancement of people that are just standing in the way. I kid you not, it has gotten now to a level 90. Before we was like level 60. For some reason, after I talked about it, it's as if now it's worse.
They all over the place.
This is what I want to say to add to that, because I had to go to the grocery store twice last week. Your shopping cart is just that. It's a shopping cart. You are to peruse up and down the aisles, get what you need. Why you're turning your shopping cart on two wheels, and why I'm jumping back and constantly being like, oh, excuse me, and you, excuse me. Stop it. If you're in that much of a rush, you need to be Instacarting. For those of us that are shopping and getting our stuff, we should not be running away from your cart because for some reason you think this is the Indy 500. It's a supermarket aisle.
Thank you. Yeah. Agreed. Sometimes I'm doing the running. I'm running over people. You know, it just depends. But I agree totally with you. We've all got to stop. You know, I take accountability.
Please don't run over us with y'all shopping carts. Nikki, you have 1 minute to get in it. Are you ready?
I am ready.
And go.
As you know, it is Black History Month, and we like to celebrate everybody Black. I want to celebrate my father. He has been a father from day one. Since we have known him, I love my father. We are daddy's girls. So yes, we call my dad. If I say I'm gonna call my dad gonna pop up. Now he didn't move like he used to, but he gonna pop up.
Not too much. Not too much on his knee.
Not too much on my dad. Not too much. So I'm saying. So I know all the people that we say we look up to, all the people that we admire. I'm gonna give a shout out to my dad. Love you, Daddy. To all the Black fathers, to all the fathers in general that have been there from day one for their kids. That even though they're still grown, like us, they still there. They are still there. Once a father, they'll always be a father. Just want to say that.
Oh, that was beautiful. You still got 9 seconds left. I love you too, Daddy.
What else I could get into? How many?
3, 2. That was sweet. What you gave Daddy.
And Daddy, you better watch it, because you stay not watching.
You might want to make this a clip.
I'll go ahead and edit. Go ahead and edit
that, because
once again, he could be like, you attacking. I'm like, right. Sorry. Love you.
I won't watch nothing.
Well, I get it from him, so there.
Yes.
Anybody knows
you have
me?
an awesome father, and I love you, Daddy.
And I'm actually his twin. Not in looks, but in personality. Twin, where have you been? Daddy, nobody knows me like you do. Nobody gonna love me quite
how
like
they're twins is they're quiet until you know them. And then once you know them.
He do know every time.
No, I said how they're twins is they're quiet until you know them. People always talking about Daddy's so quiet.
Move it along. You will not attack us with our quietness.
People be like, oh, you know, Nikki's quiet. You're Nikki. Nikki's the quiet one. I'll be like, okay. The way I'm about to start pressing record on some of these conversations.
I don't bump my gums with everybody. You know what I mean? You got to say bum gumping for people you know you can bump your gums with. We're back.
No. You have to.
What's going on with my internet?
I don't know, but
unstable. The devil is a liar. The Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This internet better get it together.
Oh my goodness!
Right. So that was our minute to get. And I don't know what we was doing prior to being frozen. Right. But that was an enjoyable segment. We are moving along. I want to get into Love Is Blind
episode. Ooh.
I'm gonna get on. Okay.
Have you watched all of it?
I have not, but for the ones that I watched, where I left off is episode 3. I only had 2 days, but I have a lot of content within my heart to bring up to talk about the show, and I believe I talked about this show previously. And I'm going to go ahead and get started because you have watched more of the show and you can give a little bit more insight. Yes, here's what I don't like about the whole concept of the show. Okay, period. Point. Don't like it.
So you're coming for the whole show right off the bat.
I'm coming for the entire show, the entire cast, the entire seasons, all of the above.
Okay.
The concept makes no sense at all. You want to
Really?
stand behind a wall and try to find love. That's not a thing. You don't have enough time. You don't know enough about the person. And what we have seen time and time again, there's a lot of pathological liars. There's a lot of people that saying they look like somebody and don't. There's a lot of people professing to have jobs and don't. So there's a lot that goes on here. A lot of people that said they went to they go to oh Lord, bring it to my therapy. Ain't seen a therapist yet.
Mm-hmm.
Or I question, what therapist are you seeing? Let me I see I got hype.
Yeah. Go ahead.
because I did. I get irked with this show, but I watch it to oblige with you so that we can conversate, because I know we watch a lot of shows that we talk about. But like, we moved from Married at First Sight to this foolishness. I'm not. The only season I can say that I liked it, actually enjoyed it, was when Lauren and her husband Cameron on the first season.
Mm-hmm.
There was some mess going on in that first season too, but I would say they're the most successful couple from that season, and they have proved that maybe it might be for 1 out of 10,000.
I think the first season was a lot more of people actually agreeing to do an experiment that they hadn't done before.
And that's
Not
the
knowing.
problem. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
problem with these shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
They agree to do, experiments, or it starts off as an experiment, but the more popular it becomes, the more and more it grows. Let me tell you who the people I have a problem with and had a problem with immediately.
Okay.
Tell us. AD, Clay, and Matt.
Okay. The little love triangle there.
Little love triangle unnecessarily. Matt came in crazy. I don't like calling people names, but Matt came in crazy. Matt came in like he was a manager. Okay. Matt said he gonna interview you. You gonna answer questions. He not here to answer questions. My famous phrase, who are you? How dare you sit on this wall, on the other side of this wall, and act like you're gonna interview me and then you're not gonna answer any questions?
Mm-hmm.
AD is a young lady that's in between the triangle with Clay and Matt that she don't need to be in with either one of them. Mm-hmm. She's wearing hair. She done, I'm feeling butterflies. The problem with Matt is lying. Matt is telling everybody the same thing. Okay? I made a connection. He trying to make AD feel special. I made a connection. I'm glad you made me comfortable. Oh, I just go on and on. Just la, 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 la. Mm-hmm. Only for them to report back to the pods. Mm-hmm. She finds out Amber, is her name right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Was told the same thing. Mm-hmm. She didn't say anything at the time. She tried to get all like, oh, I can't believe, he been playing me. Y'all got too many emotions going on for people you don't even know. I'm not wasting energy on folks that I don't know. There's no reason. There's no point.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, you can try.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
Okay. Do you?
Next. Immediately, no.
Okay. Do you believe that you can feel like you have an instant connection with someone, like maybe after a conversation?
Not without seeing you.
Oh, okay. Fair point. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm not saying you have to be this. Oh, if I see you immediately, that's how my interaction with you is. I prefer face to face. I prefer face to face. If we meet somewhere and we talk, I prefer face to face. I don't want to see you behind the wall, sitting here having conversations with you. Oh, my love, you're not in love. Y'all are not in love. Mm-hmm.
So you don't believe that you can develop a connection with someone because they haven't even seen these people?
No, because they have proven time and time and again, after they've seen them, the connection is gone.
Right.
Okay. Right. I believe it's a package deal. I believe there's someone that you might not be initially attracted to, but as you develop and you start talking to them, you become attracted to their personality, who they are. I'm not saying looks are everything, but let's not sit here and lie and act like they don't play a part.
Come on.
And that's my point. We want to sit behind this wall and get all these butterfly feelings. And then when you come from behind them walls, you come out of those pods and you are looking at each other like, what the devil did I sign up for? You've all seen
I would never go on the show because...
Yeah, would you?
No, because when they open up... this is what I do think, though.
Go ahead.
I do think I could build a connection with someone in the pods. But I feel like men are too visual. So, If he don't want no, although, because you're not supposed to talk about looks at all, Chelsea. Even though I would probably bring up like, how you feel about thick girls?
I wouldn't even say
But
that. I would say how
no,
you
you're
feel
not
about.
technically you're not supposed to.
I would say how
But
you feel about skinny girls. I'm gonna do opposite. So when I come from behind that wall thick, you already knew I wasn't no skinny girl. By the way,
and there was a young lady who was a thick girl on there. She's actually pregnant now with Brennan. I forget her name, but yeah. But
yeah.
yeah. So okay, so you said Clay and AD
So
and
then
Matt,
here, so then I talked
unnecessary
about
triangle.
correct. I talked about Matt. I talked about his craziness. Here come Clay. So Matt is white, and let me tell you something. I have no problem with interracial dating, marriage, or anything of
Yes.
the above. It's whatever your preference is. I don't hate. I have family members who have been in interracial relationships.
Yes,
I don't
we
hate.
love
I don't
them.
care. I don't hate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about your race, but it's more about what your connection is with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So please date whomever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. However, initial impression, Matt, negative. Clay came in, not gonna lie, almost fooled me. He was cool, joking and laughing and whatever.
AD.
AD, okay. You seem like you cool. You can have cool, calm and collective conversations.
Uh-huh.
Red flag number 1 wants to talk about he has a big ego. So some of the way them people,
Surprise, surprise.
the way that I would have walked out the door, and y'all don't have to set me up for another interview with him because I'm not
most
gonna mess with you.
most men that don't need an ego have the biggest ones. I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's the audacity is on an all-time high. It wasn't called for. It wasn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
They get to a point where, okay, so if you don't know, and I'm sorry I skipped this in the beginning, but the show is basically you have male and female contestants, participants, whatever you want to call them, that come in and it's Love is Blind, so they're sitting or they're set to separate sections and they're called pods where they meet with the opposite sex. So they do pretty much speed dating behind walls.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I can relate it to.
Right.
So they'll move in and out. Obviously, the women are communing in one area, the men are communing in another, and they're staying in this particular whatever Big Brother house. I don't know, but either way, the women, you're gonna go back and you're gonna talk to other women. Of course, you're gonna talk about the guys that you're talking to, and you guys are gonna be having similar interests in guys,
Mm-hmm.
girls, and vice versa. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all the mess that goes on. So what I'm talking about is individuals that have gone into what we call the pods, and they are sitting with a wall in between them, and they are talking to each other, having conversations, trying to have general conversation. I mean, also it's also awkward too because what type of things do you bring up? The young lady who had a 9-year-old, I forget what her name is, Jessica. She held that back for as long as she could. Homeboy on the other side acting like it wasn't a problem when it was.
Jimmy. So back to, I'm going to give my 2 cents back on Clay and AD.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to give back on Clay. Let me finish my thing on Clay. I'm sorry. I moved on. I just wanted to say what it's for Clay. He played like he was cool until he found out it was competition, and then he acted the fool. Go ahead.
Yeah, which I don't like as a part of Clay's personality. Wait, do you want me to go into more, or is that going to spoil it for you when you keep watching?
Oh, I don't care if you go into more. I'll still watch it.
Okay, so the thing about Clay is that yes, he did. First of all, Clay sat down and he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I am big on looks, so you have to give me a little bit of what you look like." And she was like, "I'm not doing that." I was so with AD, right? That's not the purpose of this experiment until she meets him. And I'm a little leery about his response when he met her. Now, I just want to say that AD is a brown-skinned girl who clearly is a healthy girl. She takes care of herself,
Right.
and her body shows that what she does daily shows up in her body. She has an excellent body. She seems like the type that can put anything on, and it's just gonna, it's fine. She's one of those. But she says she works out, this, that, and the other. So when he was like, "You got to give me, something," she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." I feel like I was with her because I was like, "Great, that's the point of the experiment." What happens is that when they meet, I forget what he says because I really think that Clay thinks that he's some sort of prize. That's also like part
Don't
of
they
where his
all?
ego comes from. I don't know if he's used to it. When they met, he was so annoying. Oh baby, 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 look at you, baby. Oh baby, oh baby. And then he like wanted to lay on her chest, and he was like, "Sometimes I like to lay down and be like cuddled too." And she's like, "Oh, like you're like a little baby." So they had like this. I don't know. I thought when they finally did meet, their interaction was interesting. But the reason why AD goes with Clay is not because she made a decision. It's because, like you mentioned earlier, Matt was around there telling two women the same exact thing, lying to them and being like, "I didn't say that. I mean verbatim. Like I gotta talk to your dad." Like he's telling them all this stuff, and then he turns around, feels bad. He was like, "People are gonna see this on television." Yes,
Dummy.
yes, they
You know they was
are.
recording you.
And he turns around, feels bad, and he leaves the show because Amber was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do this no more." So he ends up leaving, and he says like, "I think I'm gonna try to go get Amber."
So did
Whatever.
Amber left, right?
Amber leaves. Yes.
Amber leaves, so then he leaves
When
after her.
because AD tells her like, "I ain't gonna hold you." He said all the exact same things to me,
Mm-hmm.
and Amber was like, "Nope, I'm out. I leave." Now the thing with that is that it has come out on TikTok spoilers that Amber was actually in a relationship anyway when she came on the show.
This is what I'm talking about with this show. Or these
Not just
shows.
Amber, Trevor and Jeremy.
What is the point of coming on these? Oh, I know. Never mind. I'm lying.
Yes.
Y'all want to get
The
famous.
point is y'all are coming on here so that y'all can get clout. That's what takes away from the show for me and why I'm probably not interested anymore is because it's not about the experiment anymore. It's about let me go on here and see if I can get the screen time and become famous. So that's how she ends up with AD. Basically, the thing that I don't like about what they do to AD is she is the most sexualized. So like once they all meet their people, they then go and stay at a resort, like, to like start experiencing things outside of the pods together. And this is normally where all the pot gets stirred because, so Jimmy, who was with Chelsea, and we're just talking about Clay and AD, but Jimmy is with Chelsea, but I feel like Jimmy may have been drinking too much. Maybe he hadn't been, but he makes a comment and he was like, "Yo, she's stacked," about AD. And Chelsea, no, you insecure. Tell your dude like, "Hey, that like I don't that like you can't talk to me about no other chick like that." Like, no. She was like, "I know, isn't she? Chelsea, how you get a butt like that?" I mean, AD, how you? This is Chelsea. AD, how you get a butt like that? Acting like she's okay, right? So then Jimmy makes his way over there and starts talking to AD, and Chelsea has a breakdown. Oh, you acting like you was going along with it, and in the reality, like, yeah, no. So, that happens. Yes. So Chelsea, and it is. I agree, it is. So Chelsea has a complete breakdown about that because then he's talking to her, and then he's like, yeah, he like spun her around. Also, the thing I noticed about AD is that she kind of likes the attention.
Mm-hmm.
She has admitted that she doesn't pick well, and it's showing up in the fact that her connections were with Clay and Matt. When she said she was connected with Matt, all the other girls was like, "Matt,
girl, please."
Nobody is connected with Matt because Matt is not. He just Matt need a special person after he's been evaluated.
Correct.
But he needs a special person. He just does. So I hate to say it, but AD was given like pick me energy. So with her being with Clay, the interesting thing is Clay starts getting deep into these thoughts. He's there with her, right? And he starts getting deep into these thoughts, and he's just like, "I just don't want to let you down." She's like, "What are you like? I just don't want to cheat on you." Like they're sitting there eating and like like chit chat, and then she's like, "What's going on? Like, why are you so quiet?" He's like, "I'm just thinking like." I've never seen a faithful marriage. Like the people that I looked up to was, kid you not, was Will Smith and Diddy.
Diddy's never been married. Yo,
wait, that part I didn't even think of that.
I looked up to Diddy. Pause. Time out. Peace out. But this is what I'm talking about. These people are disingenuous coming on this show.
Yes,
And
very
that's
much
why I
so.
don't think it works. It does not work. And I
It
feel
doesn't
like
work anymore. Yeah.
the emotions get too, like, come on. You're like, y'all are too involved emotionally in these decisions. Y'all crying. You leaving the pods crying.
Yeah.
The one chick that's telling everybody she was divorced, she back there crying. Every time I tell somebody I'm divorced, I was divorced. Why are you crying about that?
You're
Like,
ignorant.
if you can't, if I tell you I've been married before and I'm divorced, and you couldn't handle that conversation, then you're not my person. Next.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be letting these men hype you up to be crying. Then Clay, when you went and you acted the plump fool, and then you want to be crying the night, and then you want to be crying all night. Till I was crying all night thinking about you, and then you come out your mouth and say
Why?
dumb stuff like that. I look up to Diddy,
Exactly.
my dude.
Exactly. And the only reason why Clay, so what happened was Clay came back in the pods, and when AD was like, yeah, like I'm kind of building a connection with somebody else, Clay was like, what? Like, I've been doing this for you. Like, he literally, like, flipped out. And it's interesting, because I'm like, all right, y'all be doing the most. But he literally, like, flipped out.
He also thought about who she was talking.
And then, like, he was like, can I ask who is it? She was like, yeah, it's Matt. And he was like, Matt, who the bleep is Matt? Matt! And then, like, when he figured it out, that elevated him 45 more times. Like, you're not about to tell me I'm about to lose the Matt. You and Matt. Like, he was basically about to tell her and Matt where to go. Clay is extremely immature. I think he has a good personality. But he is extremely immature. But so it's not gonna. I don't see that working out long term, and I do want AD to pick better because I think that she can. I just think that she can do better. But Clay's too immature, and even though I'm gonna say this, and you'll see when you're watching, even though AD is like body, yaddy, yaddy, and I know that that's like what the men be, especially the young men, that's what they be wanting.
Okay.
I don't think he's overly into AD.
I don't think so.
And I think he's used to.
I mean, I can see that. I said I don't think so. I ain't seen it yet, but I could see that.
I don't think he's overly into her. Like, he may be attracted to her body, but I don't know that he's overall attracted to her. And I think that he's used to women that are more into him than he is into them. So he just goes off, and he's just in so many words letting her know, like, I've never seen a man not cheat. So I'm really concerned of me living up to this. Then you have Jimmy and Chelsea. So Jimmy and Chelsea, Jimmy was between Jessica and Chelsea. Did you see him pick Chelsea?
I did not see him pick Chelsea.
Okay.
But I knew the moment that Jessica said she had her daughter, and he was silent. He was noticeably silent, and then said, "It's not a problem. I just have questions," and then went and met with Chelsea. I knew that he was.
And then she said, "I was married before," and he was like,
and he was
"That's
all
a lot less
overwhelmed.
than what I was just told."
Exactly. So I knew he wasn't going to pick Jessica after that. No, first of all, pause. It is a huge responsibility to give him credit. If you are someone who does not have any children, you do not have any children, and you enter into a relationship with someone who does, it's very hard because you have to not only deal with the child, the parent, the other parent, and the relationship that they have, and knowing your boundaries, knowing where you are. So I don't feel like this was the place or the atmosphere. And she was talking about it to her daughter, and the daughter's like, "Oh, my pick me out a dress," and I get that's your little friend, that because you love her and that's your little daughter. But like, I wouldn't even talk to her about that.
Ain't that your friend? Ain't that your friend?
Oh, glad it was a mic and not a wig. Come on, somebody. That would get anything, won't it? Like I was saying.
No.
So, like, it's understandable, but like, I really wanted him to be more honest. Like, I wanted to say,
that's something that's hard for me. Yeah,
it is. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's hard for me at this stage of my life. Whatever. What I mean? That's why I said, like, these type of conversations y'all having in this whole show, it makes no sense, none whatsoever. So I knew he was gonna pick Chelsea regardless. But go ahead. You said he picked Chelsea.
He picks Chelsea, yes, and you're right. I think him finding out that Jessica had a daughter was something that he wasn't going to deal with. I think it's interesting that people in 2024 still feel like, I can't do anybody with kids. And you have the right to your preference. Everyone has the right to their preference. Your preference is your preference. I have preferences. We all got preferences. Um, but I don't know. And to me, like the little girl is at
So
9.
would you do somebody? Would you talk to somebody with kids?
I would.
Okay.
I wouldn't talk to someone who has a 2-month-old. No.
Okay, right. Taught you well.
And that's what I was about to say. The little girl is 9. So I don't know. Like if I, meet guys and they're like, I have a 10-year-old son. I'm like, okay. 10-month-old. I'm like,
Yeah. This is one time Charlie talked to me, talking about he had a 6-month-year-old son, a daughter or whoever. It was a 6-month-year-old. I knew that. That's all I heard was 6 months. And I was like, baby, go ahead and be with that baby mother.
Right. That's too fresh. That's too fresh for me.
That's
So I'd be like, oh, but like 6 years old, 7 years old, 8, no.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and work that out.
So anyway, I just think that was Jimmy's preference. But also, let's be clear, you should have seen this part by now. They got to talking about looks. They shouldn't have. And she was like,
yes, I saw that.
People say I look like somebody famous. He was like, really? Who?
She gonna ask him who does anybody ever tell him? She set herself up for that.
No, she did.
Does anybody ever tell you like you look like a celebrity? Yeah. Which one?
And then she was just like, people tell me I look like this person all the time, but I don't see it. So she wanted people to give her grace because she was like, I did say that I don't see it. We're not giving you grace.
That shouldn't fell off your lips.
It was no need for you to say it at all. Why did you bring that up? If you know good and well that you see yourself and you know you don't look like Megan Fox, there was no reason for you to even bring up what people are saying. Because she has to know she don't look like Megan. She looks nothing like Megan Fox. The thing is, the girl, and I'm not saying that Chelsea's ugly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you look nothing like Megan Fox. She could have said she looked like Adele. She could have said she looked like Natalie Nunn. Because she comes longer in the face. Megan Fox?
She said Machine Gun Kelly. I said,
she was like, is it Machine Gun Kelly's wife? And he was like, Megan Fox? Well, Jimmy was thinking with a whole different head for the rest of the time. Jessica really didn't stand a chance. And you got a kid, but I got a potential Megan Fox over here? Hoodwinked and bamboozled, wasn't you?
All he got was a fox and not even Megan.
Somebody said he got Megan Fox. He got Megan Fox channel number 29. That guy Isaiah on TikTok. He was like, and you said up here with Megan Fox channel 11 News. I was like,
oh my gosh. But you set yourself up for that.
She did. She totally set herself up.
You didn't have to say that. Or it
should have never.
I'm sorry. I'm saying, or that could have been later conversation, y'all. I mean, like something that wasn't going to be, maybe she didn't think it was going to be aired. I don't know. You had to have known, though. You had to have known that producers, Shady, was going to take that footage, air that, make sure that thing went viral, and now everybody talking about it.
She's getting dragged for that.
So, give you grace? No. I can give
the reason why she's getting dragged
don't say that no more.
And she's getting dragged because Megan Fox is a beautiful woman in Hollywood. You don't look. It's equivalent to me being like, you look like anybody, and they because I'm often told like you basically look like Halle Berry's sister, and then I come out like surprise, surprise, because that's what she did. Like, girl, I always got dragged. Like, I don't see it, but people tell me all the time that I look like Kelly Rowland.
It's not even worth saying.
So, she just didn't need to say it. Well, I think that Jimmy picked her for that reason, and because he really didn't want somebody with a kid. But Jessica gave him the read of a lifetime when he decided to go. First off, the girl, Laura, she goes up to Jessica and tries to tell her, like, honey, you need to go home. Because he tells Jessica, I still haven't made my decision. But then he gets in the pod with Chelsea,
And
and
tells
he's
her
telling her that he loves her. Decision
again.
seems made, Jimmy. And she's like, oh my God. Chelsea has a whole nother dude that she's been talking with, Trevor, who I think if she would have stuck with Trevor, even though it came out that Trevor had a girlfriend this whole time and he was actually, there's text messages, receipts of him coming on here for clout from the girl that he's no longer with because now she's airing him out, because she's probably bitter or whatever. I still feel like somebody like Trevor then is, excuse me, is a better fit for Chelsea. Jimmy only picked you because he never got off of the Megan Fox comment. So much so that when the producers asked about it, he was like, well, she definitely lied about that. Jimmy said she lied about that. She don't look like no Megan Fox. But not you calling her a liar. And that's her defense. I never said I did. I said people say. Then when he meets with her friends, she's like, who does everybody say I look like? And they named somebody else. I think they might have even named Adele. And she was like, and who else? And then
Nobody,
like, oh.
sis.
I know. And then her friends being her friends gonna be like, oh, Megan Fox?
Because y'all text each other and said, say this.
She did not look like Megan Fox at
Unbelievable. I just don't like, that's why this show is just like,
But Chelsea, as you keep watching, Chelsea is so annoying, hypersensitive, and completely insecure. She acts like she wants to ask AD about her butt because her man said something about her butt. And then in reality, she's like, you hurt me tonight. When I tell you that's her voice, I'm like, I don't know how y'all be doing. Okay, I ain't even gonna say that. I don't know how y'all be doing it. She was like, the thing is, you really hurt me. No, I'm trying to tell you that you hurt me. Jimmy cannot have a feeling. He's trying to explain it to her. And she's just like going off about how she's so hurt. You didn't even notice me. You're talking about another woman's butt, and then you're standing there talking to her, and I'm kind of left out to the winds by myself. Like, she meets his friends. Jimmy only has female friends. Okay, I'm sorry. Red flag. Jimmy I don't know which one of them friends he done slept with, but he slept with one of them friends. Like, it's a no for me, dog. No. And then then he ends up calling her clingy. She's like, you didn't kiss me one time today. She is.
It's exhausting.
I don't know if they're editing her this way, but she's horrible.
What I tell you all the time about editing, they can only edit what you give them.
She's horribly
giving exhausting. They're gonna edit it, and it don't matter if you did it in after time, or if there's spaces in between. We gonna edit it all together. Annoying.
She's horribly annoying. She's horribly exhausted, and there's no way Jimmy is going to even go to the altar with her. You can't. She needs to get therapy, and she needs to find out how to love herself. Maybe it came from her divorce. I don't know what it is, but it's no way. But Jimmy picked you because he thought you looked like Megan Fox, and I don't think he's been right with you since.
Which again, people are. What did I say? People are after physical looks.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying like, yeah, you can meet somebody, you can have a connection if you see them. Mm-hmm. I believe if you see them, I believe you get challenged when you don't know what they look like, and then so you make up in your head what they look like, and when they don't look, because y'all ever have a thought of you talking to somebody on the phone, maybe at work or somebody like that, and then you finally meet them in person, and you were like, you are not what I imagined.
Yeah, like they show up on a Teams call, and you're like, really?
I'm like, oh,
yeah, I've had that with coworkers.
Susie Q, how are you?
That's true. I have had that with coworkers, and I'm like.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes down to the race. I'm like, you're white?
Jerome, I know you playing. Exactly.
So they're not gonna. They are absolutely not gonna make it. More stuff continues to happen with them, but keep watching it. But I can't see Jimmy marrying her, and I just think that she needs somebody different. I wish that her person could have been Trevor, because I think that would have just been a better match for her.
I wish that these people stop coming on the show. I wish this show go away. I really do. I honestly feel like this, while we wrapping this section up of it, is that if you haven't because people bring a bunch of baggage to these shows. Like, what kind of evaluations are y'all really doing on people? Are we just trying to get butts in the seats? Y'all bringing a bunch of characters. They're giving us a lot of everybody. You get an Oscar, and you get an Oscar, because y'all are really trying to play these parts.
The thing that upsets me
it's
is
given
that
inauthentic.
these shows are now going out and casting. So that's what takes away from the authenticity.
Taste it.
You're looking for a specific person that has a nice Instagram scroll, and you're like, hey, you want to come on the show? You're a hot guy, you're a hot girl, and it's like that. That doesn't constitute a long lasting relationship.
And here's my thing: I have a nice Instagram scroll. Ain't nobody inbox me nothing.
You post once a quarter.
But the thing is, when I post,
no, the thing is that's not gonna the algorithm's not gonna bubble you up. They're gonna be like, we don't even know if she's still on this platform, to be honest with you. And then you're like, boom,
guys, check me out at 5 on Thursdays. Relax,
yes. And then they're like, oh, there she is. Yeah, casting for it takes away from the authenticity of it. What did you think about Kenneth, the praise and worship leader?
He needs his.
Now they let the plus. Now look. Now that's what I said. I said, "Oh, y'all let the plus size dudes on."
I can't. I've seen some stuff on TikTok about him, and everybody's saying that he plays for the tambourine.
Get your tambourine going. Get your tambourine going. Get your tambourine going. Get your tambourine. Let's go. Get your tambourine going. Get your tambourine.
That's what I don't know. I haven't watched it enough to get a feel for it. Like I feel like he was like, oh yeah, I like her because she loves God. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm a praise and worship leader, and then like, and then I see like later on he's always on his phone. He's not really giving her the attention that she needs. So it's like, who are you talking to? Like.
He's getting so much bad flack that I wouldn't be surprised if he does not show up to the reunion. Because, I mean, he's getting it bad.
Yeah.
He's getting it bad.
I will have to reconvene.
They're calling him the surprise villain of the show. Because this is what I think happened. When they go to the resort and they're all talking, he sees AD and Clay. And he's literally like, look at this black love, right? Like, he's like, look at this. I love this. Like me, I love black love. So I understand what he's saying. Then AD has a side conversation with him, like, you know, like, so do you typically date white women? He's like, no, I've never dated a white girl. This is my first one. I'm not going to get into Dr. Umar, but I was thinking about Dr. Umar. I was like, Dr. Umar would have his head. He would serve him on a platter. He's like, no, this is my first one. He's like, and so AD's asking him viable questions. She's like, you know, okay, like in the pods where y'all able to talk about how she would do raising black children.
He did ask her. Right?
AD asked her.
I thought in the pods they talked about it because she was like, I'm ready for anything. Like,
oh yeah. So. They talked about their race.
They did. So he knew she was white.
You knew she was a white woman.
He knew because she said, I'm gonna ask your ethnic background. She was like, you're. She said, I thought.
She was like, you know, you're African American, ain't you? Like,
I can hear it in your throat.
And she was totally cool. She was like, okay, like, but anyway, he had that conversation with AD when they got back literally the next day because they were out on a boat looking at dolphins. He became, look around, everybody on mute. He wasn't talking. I believe, personally, he was getting all in his head. He then gaslights the mess out of Brittany. I don't care about editing or whatever. He gaslights the mess out of her when she's like, I'm not sure what changed, but it's like we don't even have that craving for each other. That's you. And if you're not craving me, then this obviously isn't going to work. So we're going to break up now. Yes.
But that's what he doing. What he wanted to do from the beginning.
Yes. And meanwhile, you talking about, oh, you're a principal of a middle school. Like somebody said on TikTok, ain't that much going on in your middle school. 24/7. He was like, is this what the old people talk about when we be on our phones all the time? Because if so, this is ridiculous. I mean, nothing she could say to him. He just, I don't care. You could take the drawer. Not even like looking at her.
Aggravating.
No, I don't care. Yeah, no. All right, well, I'm about to go downstairs. Then he would go downstairs and be on his phone. Then he would. It seems like after that conversation he had with AD, something in him switched, and I think he needs to be honest with it. Now they are saying that a cousin is saying it's the tambourine player, but I think that he switched, and all of a sudden he realized, I don't know if I'm looking for my forever with a white girl.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe
But
they
you
should.
knew that in the pods,
My
Kenneth.
thing is like, why is always the end goal to make these people try to get to an altar? Like, why
Right.
don't y'all just
Versus just
do a
dating. Yeah.
dating? Like, you know what I mean? They just, like I said, this to me is just like a big speed dating show. Except for y'all try to speed them up to get married. We don't need that. They don't need that part.
Yeah,
Like, how
no.
about they spend time getting to really know each other besides being in the pods? Because clearly, you know, I could go along with the show if that was the concept. But this right here to me is giving a thumbs down.
Yeah,
But
but
I'll have my.
Kenneth gaslit Brittany, and I think it's wrong. And I think that if you couldn't deal with her being a white woman, you knew she was white in the pods, and you should have stepped away then. I don't I don't care for the way that you treated her. I don't care what you're doing, really, in the real world. I don't think you treated her right. And I think when she tried to talk to you about there being a lack, you was waiting for that and broke up with her. Gave her a hug and was like, "I give you a hug because there's no beef." Went downstairs and called some dude and talk about you on your way.
Hey, look, he gonna walk off in the fog with another dude.
Oh, so you doing the bend? He did though.
We done. We done. I'm done with him.
Yeah,
I will. I'll
I
watch
forget that
them.
one couple. They don't really have nothing going on. He's just determined not to. He's just determined not to have kids right now. He determined so bad that it seemed like he had a bunch of pregnancy scares in the past. The way that he is, you got to get on birth control.
This the one with like the red hair, like the reddish hair. And
but
she talking about she had a dream and her dad seen the kids, and I said, "See, y'all doing too much."
Yeah.
So.
And then she's like, "I'm not gonna marry you without my dad's approval." Girl, get off the show. Get off the show. And then Laura and Jeremy get together, but he was back and forth between Laura and Sarah Ann. Laura is particular, and she's always roasted him like she thinks it's funny. Let me tell you something in the relationship. We could kiki, and I've said this to previous friends that I've had. Why am I always the butt of your joke? What you?
We're not gonna keep kikiing at my.
Because are we doing that for real? Because like I don't know
My
that you
dad taught me how to kiki, and you don't want me to be my father.
Are we doing this for real though? Because also, like, no, you don't need to be trying to come at people. You could be funny and say something or whatever, like what you said to Daddy the other with his shouting. Like, that's fine, but like, you shouldn't always, especially not your significant other. That's not funny. And when it pertains to how they look or whatever. So, Laura is like that with him, but he turned away Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann messages him after they get out the pods. And she's like, "Hey, like, sorry things didn't work out the way that we thought, blah, blah, whatever. But if for some reason something doesn't work out, basically you can spin the block." He hearted the message, but he then went out. The guys from the pod apparently was going out. He didn't know that Sarah Ann was going to be there. Allegedly, he says. Sarah Ann was there. He comes home 5 a.m. in the morning talking about there was Sarah Ann. He came home to Laura at 5 a.m. in the morning, telling her that he ended up talking to Sarah Ann because there was unfinished business. They were right in the parking lot. And she was like, "Yeah, except if you're going to lie, turn your location off because you weren't at the spot that you said you were at. You were on the other side of town, which is actually closer to where Sarah Ann lives. So you was at Sarah Ann's house."
My gosh. Today.
Boo, I said, ooh. So Jeremy and Laura, we can just assume they not making it to the altar either. And I don't know. Something happened with him and Sarah, but I do think that he's going to end up with Sarah Ann. But so keep watching Love is Blind. Love is Blind. Let me tell y'all this, though. Y'all know last season was horrible. It was horrible. But I tell you what, them producers said, "I don't do the most, but I do a lot." I'm coming in hot. They came in hot this season, and I'm not mad at it. I am sick of the shows that are casting and it's making the experiments less authentic, but keep watching Love is Blind. This season is and we need to see what happens with I want to see what happens with Jeremy and Sarah Ann.
But a minute ago or a few minutes ago, you talked about switching and switching over to those of us who saw the Wendy Williams documentary.
Moment of silence for Wendy's health. Do it, Lord. Amen.
Amen. At first, I was like, they shouldn't have shown the documentary.
Did you go back? Did you watch all 4 parts? Okay.
I said they should have not done it. They should have. What they should have done was no. At first, I was like, no, they shouldn't have done it because within the first 5 minutes of the show, you can clearly see that she is not the Wendy Williams we know.
Yeah. Accurate.
As the show progresses and you're watching it, you know, she's been diagnosed with frontal lobe dementia as well as aphasia.
What is aphasia exactly?
It's when you know the words you want to say, but you can't like say them.
Oh.
Or like you don't, I think it's like something like you don't put them in order. Or,
It's like a brain
it's
thing?
a brain issue. Yeah. It's a brain.
Okay. And that's what Bruce Willis has?
He has the frontal lobe dementia.
Okay.
I don't know if he has aphasia as well.
Okay. I think he does.
This whole situation with the guardian, a lot of people have been saying like, oh, well, Bruce Willis has the same thing. You don't see his family exploiting him. I don't know why her son would do this. When I got to the end of this, I understood exactly why they did what they did.
Why? Who did what they did?
Her family. Why
so you
her
think
son?
her family is who put this out?
No, I'm saying they didn't fight against it. Like people were saying, well, her son executive produced it. Why would he do that? Why would he put his mom out there? He has no access to his mother to get his mother. He had no real access to get his mother real help. Her family members, they have a whole guardianship with the whole woman and don't nobody know that does not communicate with the family at all. How the bank was able to take her and decide, oh, it's transactions that's not right. The most that we get are regular people that don't have all the millions and millions of dollars in the bank. You get a text message saying it might be some fraud on your account. Ain't none of our bank accounts getting frozen. Well, if you don't,
hold on. You're not gonna say.
Y'all that don't got millions, say
lying.
Amen.
You're lying. Some of us are contacted via phone.
You are, and if you don't answer properly, they will freeze your account. But they don't say you can't
access it at all.
Access it. You can't control it. You don't know how to control your own life. I have never in my life heard of a bank putting a guardianship. We're talking about money and life. That's two different things. If you think something's going on, my money, cool. If you want to do something and I have to fight you about it, not a problem. But how dare you, as the justice system, and then they had a woman on there saying this happens a lot of times to people where instead of the court system giving the family guardianship, they will award somebody who these people do not know to be a guardian over them. How dare you, United States of America? And I say that her family needs to take her case to the Supreme Court. Period. Because this doesn't make any sense. It's no way in the world she has family that is of sound mind that not once showed that they were even after her money. They just wanted her to come to Miami where they were at. All her family's in Miami. In Florida. Her father, her brother, her sister, her niece, her nephew are all there. What is the point of her staying still in New York? Her son, most importantly. I'm sorry, her son. What is the point of her being in New York if she's declining in health? She no longer has her show. I get it. She may have been stubborn and didn't want to go, but I would have said, well, y'all need to commit my mom or something because she can't stay in New York. It's not going to work for me. Shout out to DJ Booth that found her unresponsive when nobody else was around.
Because
and saved her life because of the pandemic, and because we find out through this whole entire thing that while we were watching Wendy, while you and I were sitting up at the Wendy show and enjoying ourselves in 2000.
Hold on. How I get in it?
We didn't know that this whole time Wendy had an alcohol problem.
We went to the show twice.
Exactly. So my thing is like, feel it. I didn't know. Wendy, I didn't know. Because maybe had I been there, I could have said a prayer for you. But I don't know, because she'd be responding funny with person. But either way.
When we went, I don't know that it was as bad.
Alcohol is alcohol. And I feel
No.
And what her nephew was saying is basically her ex-husband was making sure she got to work, was making sure that she was functional.
Oh yeah, he was on it. I'm not saying that she wasn't drinking. I'm saying I don't think she was as bad because she was still married to Kevin and still had life with Kevin. Once the stuff with Kevin started first coming out, I think it got worse. I think once she was like, no, like I'm done with this dude and she was like, all this time and this is how you gonna do me, I think it went overboard. Then the pandemic came, then the realization that everything that you worked so hard for seemingly came to have crumbled down. I think that's where we're at, and it has sent her to a bad place.
From how it left off, and they were saying, well,
Yeah.
what they showed us, they said in the end of the documentary that she had went to a facility. They don't tell you what type of facility. The homeboy couldn't even ask. And that's another thing. The people that's around her that were enabling her. Sean, it's something funny with you.
The
You're supposed to be a
PR
publicist.
girl
You
that
ain't
took
no
her to
publicist.
California.
You
And had a meeting with NBC to get her show back.
and NBC were like, they ain't meet with her. She's oh, I'm getting back on TV. I'm getting back on TV. Then you ask her to go to Oscars. Wendy isn't even dressed appropriately to go to Oscars. You saw how she was dressed in 2019 to get her Hollywood star. And that mess that she had on, do you really think that you was going to be able to take her to the Oscars? Knowing that good and well she ain't packed nothing to go to nobody's Oscars. And furthermore, how was you going to get Wendy Williams in the Oscars?
Who are
She ain't
you?
even been on the scene. Who are you? Once again.
Sean, who are you? Wendy's health will not allow her to have a show again because it won't allow her to have consistency. Wendy right now, to me, she's in and out mentally. And that's, of course, what the beginning stages of dementia is.
Mm-hmm.
She's in and out. She's just, Wendy, during this documentary, and what the people were upset that they were seeing was that she would be fine, and then she would be like, and she would just start talking honestly, just like out of her mind, almost.
Right.
My show starts in September. Yes, back on TV. And like the dad was like, no, Wednesday, my show starts. And the dad was like, today is Wednesday. And she's like, no, that's not what I'm like, And then like when her brother was sitting there with her when they were all meeting for dinner, she's like, I'm so happy to see you, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her brother, Tommy. Like something is going on there. I think that the fall of her relationship and the fall of her career sent her somewhere. I also feel for her when she kept going, I'm bored. I'm in this apartment and I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly felt for her because Wendy had a life.
Mm-hmm.
Even back from radio.
Right.
She was out there. She had a life. She was known. She was around. Everybody knew her. She had all these connections. She was not the type to be in her apartment day after day and not able to go outside. And even though, she is confined with her, what is it called?
Lymphedema.
With the lymphedema. Like, there's some restrictions and things there. Wendy was not just confined to it. So I was feeling, because she said it more than once. They was like, how did you? She was like, I'm bored. Like, and I'm like, have you ever like sat in your house and been like, okay, let me get up and go do something. I can't just sit in this house no more.
Yep. And when you can't, you're restricted by your limbs and you can't jump up like you normally. So yeah.
So I did feel for her when she was saying that. But I just think that I do wish that they would let Wendy go to her. I don't understand who that publicist is.
Family.
Yeah, let her go to her family. I don't understand who the publicist is. I'm glad that her niece said something like, I don't even want to sit with this chick because I don't feel like it. I don't understand why Will the jeweler is her manager. Her son said it best, like, he can't handle this. Like, you're a jeweler. This isn't for you. The way I felt about Will was he treated everything with her as if it was business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just like, the business aspect is on the back burner right now. And I think even her nephew and her son said that. That's the back burner right now until you get her back to being in a healthy, at least, state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And a healthy well-being of not drinking and not, doing it like, when she was in Miami with her family, she was able to walk the beach and clear her head and things like that. Like, that's where we're trying to get back to. But I do think, and I said this, I think that Will possesses something that reminds her of her ex-husband.
Mm-hmm. Because all that hollering he was doing, I was like,
and like that's probably how Kevin was with her. And she misses her family, and she misses that. Because if y'all watched the show or been to the show, Wendy was always talking about the night before. Oh, last night I made mushroom burgers. Oh yeah, delicious. I sauteed some onions. Like, that's how
Uh-huh.
she would be. I put that on there. Oh, and the boys loved it. Like, she loved talking about her son and her husband and being a wife and being a mother and just that idea. So that's why when she brought it up and she was like, I miss my family, a part of that was in there. And why it's so easy for her to cry, because her life has totally been stripped from her. And I think that if she could just at least, yes, get to her dad or get to her, I don't think she ever properly grieved her mom.
Yeah, nope.
If she could get back to that, I think that she would do better. Because now it's an awkwardness with her and Trevor. What's his name? Trevin, the nephew, and Kevin Jr. Even when they came to see her, she was like, "Hi." And she like shook their hands, and she was like,
Yeah.
"You look good." And then
And
she's like, "Are you still okay with the podcast? Because that's what we're doing right now." They're not doing a podcast right now, unless that's what Will is telling her.
exactly, but and then a lot of people were trying to criticize, like, well, he saw his mom. Why won't you hug his mom? First of all, guys and men are in general aren't as emotion as us. Like, we may be the ones hugs. She also wasn't giving hugging energy. Like, she was just like, hey, yes,
She didn't move. It was a
didn't
tight
really
space. Y'all not gonna act like y'all ain't seen it. Because I
correct.
even said, I said, what is this restaurant? These chairs is back to back like this. I hate when they do that.
And no, and then also once they left that restaurant, they said immediately. He said, well, first of all, they was like, they late. He was like, I was in school, and she was like, I know that. So
Yes,
why was
but
the
why
manager
didn't you
acting
tell them
stupid?
that?
Because
Right.
he was acting like he didn't know, because he also said that he was on his way 5 minutes ago and they was 40 minutes late. So I'm like, if he was on his way, who, somebody lying.
Who's lying? Yes.
And then after that, when her son and her nephew was standing talking, they was like, she doesn't look good. My mom's lost weight. She doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, she needs help and she's not getting the help. That would frustrate me. And he's 21 years old and he's only able to do so
Oh,
much.
he's 21.
I think he's like, yeah, 21, between 21
21.
and
Okay.
23. Then
I couldn't remember.
you stripped him. He might be older than that now. You stripped him of being able to help her in any capacity. What do y'all expect him to do? And then he also has to, he's trying not to live with the reality that he is watching his mother leave him.
Mm.
And he's like, I'm not trying to just sit back there and let it happen. But what do y'all want me to do? They won't tell me what facility she's in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of guardianship
I don't
is
know
this?
if he knows where she lives now. Because like towards the end, she had went to another wellness center, and they cleared out her spot. Did you see that?
And sold it. And then niece was like, yep, didn't know that. So it's like, you have all this family who has no connection, who can't contact you. She's got to call them. Her sister was like, finally, towards the end, was like, I'll sit down and do it. And she gave her side of the story, was like, they shut us out.
I'm trying to figure out what they could have done to prevent this while Wendy was in a healthier state. What could have been done so that they weren't allowed to overturn things that were already
I
in
feel
place?
like Wendy
POA,
already had it.
like a POA is not, honestly, a POA is
Nothing.
not that it's not nothing. It does give you like authority for somebody who's incapacitated, but it's something that, as you can see, they can easily like, we're overthrowing this. So what could be in place where, I'm just curious. I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta do
wanted to say
research, 'cause
about
that
her
is terrible.
son, the other part that people have to understand is that her son went through this publicly.
Yeah, that's what his aunt said.
And her son has gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to understand, he also was a child living with his parents and had a house and had a family too.
Yep.
And it's also been stripped from him. And he has a dad who went out and had an affair and had a kid, and everybody's blasting the dad, and then everybody's blasting him, and everybody's saying they got into the fight at the funeral, and everybody's doing all that. Like, he's also been pushed into something that he never asked to be pushing. And sometimes when he was sitting there talking, I felt like he was so well-mannered, but I felt bad for him.
I did too. Because
he was just sitting there like, almost like, I don't even want to be doing this documentary with y'all. This is not where we were supposed to be.
Nope. But he definitely he was well-mannered, and he didn't sound like, and then it was like, oh, you try to take money. He was like, he specifically said, I never took, and I believe that. I never took money from my mother without her consent. And I felt like Wendy was around there saying, like, yeah, go ahead and do, because his cousin was like, yeah, she spent 100 and some thousand on his party. That sound like Wendy. That's her only son.
She was like, is this a high-end place? I like expensive.
Yeah,
I like
so I'm like, how is y'all getting?
That's he sits down for dinner and she's like, I got you a Dior shirt. Was it Dior? Yeah. I have Dior on my feet. I have Dior, and it's just like, He
He
didn't ask
was
for
like,
that shirt, and
oh,
he was just like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't think he wants his mother to, like you said, to see his mother slip away from him.
he doesn't. And I feel like I said in the beginning, I
Sad.
get it. Like, what if we have nothing else? If our backs against the wall, like her sister said, at least the world gets to see it. At this point, y'all all saw it. Everybody has mixed feelings about it. We're all giving our opinions about it. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, some people are trying to say it's her karma. Like, y'all just foolishness. She was doing the job. It's a lot of people that run their mouth about everybody, but we don't sit there and say, "Oh, it's karma." Y'all was just mad because she did a real good job of what she did. Okay, because Hot Topics was hot topicing
And it was
all the
just,
time.
it was her job.
Entertainment. It was entertainment. We don't get mad at Page 6 when they post or what's the fake tabloid stuff?
Yeah, Page 6,
Page
Daily
6,
Inquirer.
Daily Inquiry, all of them do the same thing. They report on these
Mhm.
people. They literally sit here and run their mouths. People have literally sit here building
Jason
careers,
Lee,
building platforms, talking
Hollywood
about people.
Unlocked.
But Wendy was a little too real for y'all. I guess. I don't know. I just
She
feel
was,
like
yeah, like,
Fat Joe said he forgave her.
yeah, he hosted her show.
Yeah, and he was
She
like,
was naming him as one of the people she wanted on her podcast.
yeah, and he was
She was
like,
like Fat Joe. She was actually naming good people to be on her
he
podcast.
was. So it's like,
I was like, yeah, this all makes sense. She said somebody else, and I was like, oh,
I'm like, yeah, there goes. So it's just like it's crazy, it's sad, it's
yeah,
unfortunate. Life lesson here. Like we are all learning that apparently a bank can step in and override. And so like you say,
crazy.
what can we do to ensure that nothing gets
Exactly.
overridden? That God forbid if something happens to a family member,
Hmm.
especially a parent, you know what I mean? Like that you can be able to help. I've watched my mom take care of her parents before passing. I watched my aunts
Yeah.
and uncles take care of, and my dad take care of their mother before she passed. I cannot
Right.
imagine us not being able to be there for them.
Right. Somebody stripping all that from them.
Stripping all that from like, yeah, you can't talk to them, you can't be there. What? Do you know
Yeah,
the
and like
ruckus
my mom was like the front and center for my grandfather
for everything
since my grandfather passed, for everything. Like
since
none of
grandma
us
passed?
none of us knew since grandma passed. None of us knew like how to list out his medicines. Like we didn't know like to that she was all of that. It was a lot when I think back on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot, but she did it cuz she loves her parents and but after she had done it for so long, if somebody would have came in and been like, "Oh, never mind, you don't have to worry about doing this. We're going to take care of it now." And not do another first off.
My granddaddy wasn't
Granddaddy,
letting that happen.
granddaddy would have lost. But like, like if somebody came in trying to do it, he'd have been like, "Whoa!" Because it feels like they just came in hot and did this to Wendy's family, and
It's
it's
unfortunate.
it's it's sad, and I don't like seeing Wendy like this. I think even though maybe the onset of dementia is there, and maybe it will progress. Right? She's
Mm-hmm.
50. How old is she? 60.
59, she's 60 now, probably. Yep.
Yeah, 59, 60 years old. So sure, maybe it will progress. But if we can just elongate or help, use natural remedies and whatever, like you can do stuff. But to just I mean, when you see her in that bed and just not doing nothing, none of that is helping this.
She looks like
It's making it
she doesn't
worse.
care if she lives or die.
That
That
yes.
and
She
somebody
did
said
look
that
like
on
that a
there,
few
was
times.
saying like
Huh?
she was. I think Will said that at one point in time. Like she looks like she just doesn't care if
She
she's here or not. Hello, thank you, Will, for acknowledging what we saw from the beginning. That you
He
kept
was
trying to
like,
say wasn't
"Why
a
are y'all
thing
trying to say Wendy can't do this?
because
Like
she can't.
that baffles me that y'all are asking that. She could do this in her sleep." I'm like,
It baffles me. You're that dumb.
"Bro, do you see her? Like, no, she cannot do this in her sleep right now.
You are talking
This
like a
is a
jeweler.
concerning matter. This is not business right here, bro. This is a concerning health matter.
Hmm.
Wendy needs to get out of New York. She's yelling at the driver.
Yeah.
Take me around the corner. Do it again. Like she's out. She's having outbursts.
I want to say this: if I was that driver, y'all would have seen Wendy roll out that car so fast in that
Wait,
car.
you can't. He's having patience with her.
Yeah, that's why I'm no. That's why I'm not the driver. Because there's only so many times you're gonna keep hollering and she'll be like, well, he dropped me off. Do you know what he did? I'm gonna sue him. You would have to sue her.
But even the driver was like, "Some days she don't
Something's
even
not
know me."
right.
He was like, "She'll literally act like she never met me."
He said something's wrong with her memory.
Yes. And he was like, it's like her memory going. Y'all see that?
And he
And
only
then
been driving her around for a year.
that dumb girl,
Sean. No. She knows her
No,
limits.
she knows her limits.
But then she's looking like, yeah, go
Bro,
ahead,
you
take
are
it.
so crooked.
What is going on with you? How much are you getting paid? But I guess she must have got fired because we ain't see her no more after they came back from Los Angeles.
We didn't, but I mean, if anything, Will might have handled that because he was cussing her out so bad. And then he was like, do me a favor, no cameras. I was like, oh my God. He finna go in there and lay Sean out. And Wendy. Wendy in her little fragile state, he was still laying her out. I'm telling you, and she don't mind Will because I'm telling you, Wendy likes men, she's already said, but she likes that male dominant presence. And I think that is how Kevin was. And Will be like, he was like, do me a favor, no cameras right now. I feel like that's something her ex-husband would have did.
Well,
but I just don't know that he's a manager.
Prayers up for her.
Sorry, Will.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we were Wendy watchers.
Faithful.
You would be hearing me saying stuff like, "He looking, how you doing?
How you doing?"
We went like, huh?
DJ Booth. I said her show was turned. We was there when DJ Booth was there.
When DJ Booth was there,
she's like, Booth, what you do?
We went twice. Just the two of us went, and then we went with our cousins and my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Both times.
The second time, yeah,
had a time.
Enjoyed ourselves
in the audience. Oh! Wendy looks great. I thought she looked great.
She looks better in person. Like she's not
we was complimenting her.
She's nice. Yes, she's nice looking. Like okay, Wendy.
Yes.
And so to see her deduced to this.
The one episode that we were on the first, they used to do Ask Wendy. Remember? We were like so many people reached out to us like, why do I see the two of y'all on there? Because she had something and we was like,
I didn't think that you was gonna be able to see us where we was sitting at.
We didn't either. We were like, you did? But it was just because of the person that did the Ask Wendy worse. And then we was both nodding like, yeah. After we clearly just said something about it. Like, it was the funniest thing.
Our first time there was the best though. Yo, that was so fun.
We didn't know who 2 Chainz was at the time. We were like, 2 Chainz.
Rachel Maddow was the guy. I was like, what this woman has to say?
Like, coming up 2 Chainz, and we were like, oh God. And then we were like, pull up to the scene. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Yeah.
I said, our first time was popping.
Our first time was hysterical. Mm-hmm. That's why we was like, yo, we're going back.
We should have been YouTubers at that time.
It was actually fun.
It was.
But we was like, oh, 2 Chainz. What are we going to do with this 2 Chainz? We was like, okay. Okay. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
I'm different. Yeah, I was like, I like this. Go ahead. I said, y'all say the name 2 Chainz? Okay.
I know. We was like, 2 Chainz, pull up to the scene.
Yeah,
it was funny.
She definitely has built a legacy for herself. She will. She always kept, even in the documentary, she kept saying she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be famous. It's like she's
remember when I was
by
6?
the fame. Yeah, she was driven by the fame, but she's had it, and I think now, Wendy, it's your time to really just live the rest of your life.
And that's what her son said several times. It's not time for her to work. It's time for her to rest.
Correct. So,
and her son's right. I'm curious what I will say. Not in a caring, sense. I'm just curious. I'm curious what her ex-husband thinks of all this. Like with his son, like that's his ex-wife. Like, I don't know. I'm just curious.
And the fact that your son is now in this position because of you.
Like, yeah, like how does
he now take care of his mother at this young age, which most people whose parents get older, they don't until later in their life, if they are able to keep them, they don't really step in unless they, they get really bad sick and stuff like that. And what she does have health issues going on. But like he's an only child. Well, he's her only child. And so, and then on top of that, like most people go through stuff like within your little local area. This is public. This is for everybody to see. It's just like you really was really being selfish, thinking about yourself. Like it could have been done so much better, dealt so in such a better way than what you did, because you didn't want to. My thought process is, or my opinion is, because you didn't want to let what you considered a cash cow go, because you knew that once she moved on, she was gonna take her money from you or anything that you had connected. And while you were sneaking, buying homes. But while you sneaking buying homes, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
Okay, well, we want to thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you. It's been a fun episode. We
just wanted to review some of the trending hot topics that are going on right now, and these shows are hot right now. And so, just our 2 cents. Keep watching Love is Blind simply for the entertainment, because we're just going to probably talk about it closer to when it's the finale and the reunion again. Or when you catch up, because there is more to talk about when you catch up without ruining everything, even though I told some things. And listen, we just out here living and learning. But most of all, we hope that this conversation allowed you to just simply relax, if you could relate, and we're just debrief. So thank you for tuning in to Relax, Relate, Debrief. Once again, if you are not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you're notified when we drop a new episode. And please share this channel. We're also so excited because we're getting our hair done this week. This crochet hair has been
you shall see
terrible. That what you see, you will. The enemy you see now, you will see no more.
This has been. Somebody say by Friday. By Friday.
I'm Saturday. So I'm about to be on my Ashanti. I'm still a sucker for cornrows. That's what I keep saying. That they keep going. She be living by Nelly's words.
Because let them people live.
Shake your tail feather. He goes.
I'm just a sucker for getting my hair done. Period. Because I can't, as you can see. God bless you.
We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.